speaker represents the city of Sacramento, and he's been a part of fighting on behalf of the homeless community for many years. He's working on an innovative program called Faith in Families, and it's going to be an unbelievable opportunity to increase our transitional housing opportunities. So I'm very excited about that. He's a colleague. He's somebody I've known many, many years. Let's give a warm welcome for my city council member, Rob Fong.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, first of all, let me just recognize the contribution of Mayor Johnson and the policy board. It really is a renewed day, and this is testament to that. And Kevin asked me to say a few things about faith in homeless families, and frankly, my homeless moment was before Lisa came to town. It's Michelle Steve's fault. That's right. I've seen you many times, haven't I? You're going to hear about Michelle Steve in a second, but Michelle runs St. John's Shelter for Women and Children. And as others have said, it's really the only shelter in town that will house women and children. And Michelle asked me to come out and take a tour, and I've been out many times since, but I will tell you, I was so struck by my first experience out there. It was during the daytime when all the folks, all the kids were in school, and I just saw all these tiny little shoes stacked up next to these bunk beds in these crowded rooms. And it was just amazing to me that that people are, living in those kinds of situations. And I just thought we needed to do something. And of all things, I was one of the glamorous things you get to do as a city council member is go to Rotary luncheons during the holidays. And I want to give credit to the ESAC Rotary. I went out there, and it's a very small Rotary, but I was impressed with their program. They adopt a family every year for Christmas to make sure that an underserved family has Christmas. And I started thinking, one of the things we need to do is maybe ask our faith communities to think about adopting one homeless family unit. Because I thought we could make a big dent in the population there, and I started to talk to Michelle about it. I got real smart and talked to Cassandra Jennings, who turned me on to Tim Brown, and pretty soon we started having meetings, and we put together a bunch of volunteers from the faith communities and the nonprofit communities that are serving the homeless already, and we found out there's programs like this in Boise and in Denver, and so we started. And we're forming a nonprofit, but in the last year we've housed 10 homeless families. I saw Sue's become a great partner, and we're hoping to maybe get another dozen before the holidays housed. And the way it works, because I'm pitching the program, is how many of you people actually go to church? You have to at your job at Sherwood. So my brother's a pastor, and I always tell him, well, that's easy for you to go to church. They pay you. I have to pay to go to church. But that's him. That's not you. The way it works is if you could talk to your clergy, your lay leadership, we would love for you to consider joining Faith in Homeless Families. And what the commitment is we're asking the faith communities to look among themselves and to see if they would be willing through their congregation to make a commitment for 1 year to help house a homeless family. And we're housing them in apartments, in rental properties that are vacant. Just the other day, I asked someone if they would help me introduce them to their priest, and he was so put off by having to approach the priest. He said, what if I just donate one of my apartments for a year? And I said, well, we'll do that too. So anyway, I know we're having an event soon this month to actually have the member congregations talk about what their experience has been like. We're flying out the director from Denver. In Denver, their program is housing 400 families a year. 400 families a year. And so, as the mayor said, we could probably do better than that. With the number of churches and synagogues and mosques and spiritual life centers that we have in the Sacramento region, there isn't any reason why we can't put Michelle Steve out of business. So anyway, I just am grateful for the turnout and for the energy, and we would love to be part of the solution. So thank you.
All right, I think there's another city council person here. I want to thank Vice Mayor Lauren Hammond for coming out. Faith and Families, unbelievable opportunity for us. Fong is, again, heading up this initiative for the policy board. So Rob, what's our goal?
We want to house all the families.
What's the number goal?
Number goal, 1,500.
Rob Fong, Rob Fong is going to commit that we're going to do our best to at least match what Denver did in Denver. So they got 400, we're going to get 401. That's going to be our goal. Faith families. Our next speaker, I almost feel like, but that'll be over a couple years. We're going to start 1 year at a time.
Family units is 1,500 people.
There you go. So our next speaker has got a fan club over here. This speaker who's going to come up, she runs St. John's, does an unbelievable job in making sure that women and children are having the safety net that they need. She's compassionate, she's tireless in terms of her commitment. She also is a member of the policy board and has been for quite some time. I asked her to head up the task force to make sure we solve the winter shelter challenge in short time. She was able to do that. I cannot think of any better advocate than this community than Michelle Steve. Let's give Michelle a round of applause.